All right, we're back with another episode of Monster Hunter Barovia. We've got our party that, after saying farewell to the Wizards of the Wine, made it back to the Blue Water Inn in Vallaki. There, they delivered the missing wine that was been expecting in the town for a while, and as they were kind of delivering some, well, I guess a package to Erwin and Danica about what pretty much happened at the wine, a giant turkey came out, and the party was forced to pretty much consume a giant bird, except for Lucy for some reason. It's been probably about an hour after the fact that everyone has consumed, and there's a couple bones here and there that people may be gnawing on or just kind of licking a little bit. But aside from that, the food cravings have now subsided, and everyone's back to their senses.
I have regrets.
So we're just in food coma land right now?
Yeah,
Do we have? We've got like rooms here, yeah.
yeah. Irwin kind of shuffles over, and he's just kind of sitting there, kind of bloated, telling you, uh, uh, the wine. Oh, mm. he, he's kind of having a hard time keeping his stomach settled. He's like, you brought it. Your rooms are on me while you stay here. Oh, excuse me.
All right.
Well, are we going to have a rest and then reconvene tomorrow, or... Excuse me.
It seems that maybe a good idea. I need to sleep off the food coma that I feel coming on.
Somebody carry me to my room.
Vika sort of waddles over and grabs Quinn and throws him over her shoulder and just marches up the stairs.
Very much passed out against the wall.
Oh yeah, I like waddle upstairs.
Oh, if Vika sees you there, she'll come over and throw you over her other shoulder. You're tiny and light.
That was by far the most disgusting thing I think I've ever seen.
Takes one to know one.
I might have nightmares about tonight.
Then you've never seen a Minotaur party during the equinox.
It's not pretty.
You see some of the patrons just kind of slowly meandering towards the exits. Like, I need to go home. This isn't settling well.
All right. Well then, up to the room to rest, I guess.
So, Vika carrying Quinn on one shoulder and Parrot on the other.
Yeah.
Moves it up the stairs.
Follow behind so you don't drop them, or I can catch them if you drop them.
We're not drunk, we're just full. Is the difference.
Yes.
Is Lyndon going up the stairs too, or is he stuck downstairs too?
No, I'll be right along. I'm just, we eat like this all the time, let's be fair. It's just been a while since we've been, honestly, in this godforsaken land. We haven't really had that much to eat here.
Alright, it is time for rest. Clomp, clomp, clomp.
All right. So, Lucy, you're saying downstairs by yourself then?
I'll stay for a couple minutes more to help clean up, and then I'll head back up.
Yeah, Danica comes over with the towel and starts wiping down the tables. She's a little she looks like she's having a hard time just kind of keeping a long stream of motions together before she has to take a break. With trying to make sure that her indigestion doesn't get the better of her. She's like, "Are you okay, dear?"
I'm perfectly fine. I don't understand why everyone got so hung up in the turkey.
Well, the, it was so the smell. The smell of the food was just so potent and so powerful. It was just irresistible. I'd never felt hunger like that in my life.
I, I, I don't notice what you may have. It's since I've got here, I haven't been quite as hungry as anything.
She kind of goes, "Oh dear." Well, she lays out she goes up to the bar and kind of grabs a plate and cheese and bread. It's like, "Well, if you find yourself hungry, please enjoy this and don't worry. It's on the house. It's the least we can do from that poor showing of us."
That's too much. Thank you.
She puts a hand to her mouth and she's like, "Excuse me," and she just kind of runs back into the kitchen.
I'll grab the plate and head up to my room. Does it look appetizing, like, at all?
Yeah, it's freshly baked bread. It's still got a little bit of crispiness to it. And there's a small amount of butter with it, and the cheese looks pretty fresh as well. You can tell it's been aged just to the right time.
I'll try and nibble on it before I head to sleep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception roll there.
/ Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, it finally got me. 14.
14. Yeah, you can tell that it's a little bit bland compared to what you normally prefer, but it's edible.
Okay.
Yep. You see, Irwin just kind of trekking up and down the bar, kind of, getting on the mugs and wiping them down and putting them away. He has to take a minute here and there just to kind of keep himself afloat, and you can tell he's getting kind of weary from that. And he signals to his boys. He's like, "Brom, Ray, oh, clean up, please. Your mother and I need to go lie down for a bit." The boys happy to go, "Yay!" And they just start making a game of it, of stacking cups and seeing who could build the higher mug tower, so to speak.
I'll head on up while they're doing their stuff. I don't want to intrude.
Yep, and last patrons kind of leave. You guys all make it eventually up to your rooms. I'm not sure what sleeping order you guys want to put yourselves in upstairs. And because Ismark and Arena are not actually at the end, their beds are up as well, so you guys can space out into any of the open rooms upstairs.
Oh yeah. Did we ever make sure that they had a place that they could go to?
They said that they would find their own way in town.
Well, Mika probably would have dumped Parrot into one of the rooms and would have I guess gone and shared the other room. Dumped Quinn into a bed.
I don't know where I should go.
This room.
If Matilda doesn't mind, I'll book with her.
Cool with it?
Alright, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Time for a roll of the dice. So, Vika, and who else tonight? Vika and Parrot.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
All right. All right. Vika and Parrot, as you drift off and starts entering your sleep, you get plagued with visions of Dr. Etrix and Salith asking, "Why didn't you save us? You left us here to die. The bite. You left us bitten and you let him take us." And that goes on for a few seconds, and as they fade into a mist-like thing, Shroud's like, "They are mine now." And then his image fades off into the mist as well, with him just chuckling, you know, doing the bad guy, "Mwahahaha." And you two immediately wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
That's nice.
Yeah, but aside from that, nothing else happens. The rest of you have peaceful dreams and, get a good night's rest. And, shortly after Parrot and Vika end up having those disturbing visions of their former colleagues, you guys were able to get back to sleep without really any problems, and nothing else haunts your dreams for the rest of the evening. And and after that, it is now sunrise of the next day.
So, how'd you sleep?
It seems that Turkey did something to me. It was.
Walking miserably.
Yes, like that.
So, where do we go from here?
Ugh, ah, there was, the woman.
Yes. Did we, what happened to our two friends that we escorted here? They don't seem to be in the rooms where we left them.
I cannot remember. Did they say they had some place to go?
I sure as hell don't remember.
Mitchell, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
23.
Yeah, you see that on the nightstand next to your bed. You see a piece of parchment there that's shows a hunter's mark on it.
Ooh.
Great, you can't stealth now.
I am going to bring it into the room with Quinn and Vika and show them to see if they know what it is.
Do I know what it is?
Do either of us know what it is?
It just shows the letter is folded up with a wax seal of of a hunter on it. So that's the only identifiable mark on the parchment.
Is the seal broken?
Nope.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Inside,
We probably shouldn't do that, but let's do it.
I'm really good at not touching things, remember?
So it's a letter saying, "Dear hunters, my sister and I have left to the local chapel to seek protection there. St. Andrew's Church is where some say that Shroud won't dare walk, and we feel that is the best place for my sister and I to wait until we come up with a solution. Thank you for your assistance. If you're in need of us, please feel free to come and ask for our aid there. Though I'm not sure what else we can provide, we can at least provide you with maybe some information or at least anything local in the town. Yours truly, Ismark the Lesser and Irina."
At least now we know where they went.
Yeah. Well, we did our part and we got them to where they needed to go. So let's, I suppose, let's go downstairs and get with everybody else and figure out what we know about this lady and where to go from there.
Yep. As you head downstairs, all of you can, smell the baking of fresh bread, and a couple of patrons shuffle in for their morning meal. Although some of them have a bit of look of shame upon them as, they eye you down. But they kind of give you a quick look and kind of, do that one of the things where they kind of just put their hands to their face like, oh, please don't notice me. I don't want to be looked at.
Vika looks at each and every one of them that she saw participating in the turkey feast and just gives them a big grin.
Yeah, they kind of just when you see the grin, they just kind of go, "Oh God," do the "Oh God" look, and then they just kind of put their heads down and chew on their bread and cheese.
A big, toothy, almost feral grin.
So, do we quite know who we're looking for today? Like, we just have a W letter, or is there an actual name?
There was woman mentioned. Let me check my notes.
So she turned. The trader card that she turned was the Nine of Glyphs. Said, look for a wealthy woman, a staunch ally of the devil. She keeps the treasure under lock and key with the bones of an ancient enemy.
There was a woman mentioned to us. Fiona Watcher. Could be the ladies that we are looking for.
I believe so. Lady Fiona watched her. That sounds familiar.
She was feuding with Burgermaster and was known to have a rather mean streak.
All right.
She
Well,
lives to the north of the lake.
Well, I reckon we should probably check with the Burgomaster. He's probably going to be the one who would know where we could find her.
Someone told us the house looks like it's disgusted with itself.
Looks like it's disgusted with itself.
That is what I wrote down. Someone must have given us that description.
so there's something that needs to be taken from her. Is that what
She
I'm
has
hearing?
a treasure that might be useful to us in order to help us with dealing with Strahd.
She was in the place of the guard of power or strength. Some sort of weapons that may provide us with assistance.
Well, maybe we should ask around about her and see if we can learn anything. This is this is one of those situations. This is something that I was, when I was a wee one, I was pretty good at this kind of thing. Just well.
This is good idea. However, I believe it is good idea to do so without too much attention. We do not want her knowing we are asking about her before we are ready to confront her.
Well, I didn't think it's a foregone conclusion that we're running in and going in and attacking.
Yeah, who said anything about like attacking anybody? This is just a.
You're jumping to a rather excessive conclusion. Confronting does not mean attacking.
Have you ever seen you confronting people?
I look specifically at Matilda.
Happens just a couple of times.
Confronting simply means addressing someone who may or may not have a hostile stance to oneself. It does not mean that one must resort to violence.
I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say.
We just need to go and have a conversation. So it doesn't matter that we're looking for her.
It also warns in my notes that she does not take fools lightly.
Who does?
Who's this person walking around over here? Sal?
Which one?
You keep
Yeah, are we
naming
getting vibes
Danica.
from all these people moving around?
Yeah, they're just moving around. Just normal business of the day.
Is Lucy not joining us?
I don't know who put me over here. I hadn't touched it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like intentionally being standoffish. Or
I
something.
am sitting away from the group.
Fuck you, people. I don't know any of you.
Y'all are fucking weird.
Well,
I
he
mean,
said we need to talk to the burgomaster or something. He's the one that puts on all the parties here, isn't he?
I think that's probably a wise place to start.
Well, it just occurs to me that we have I don't know. Lucy, you're like some type of priest of Palor, right?
I am part of the church. I did not interact with many people. I gathered herbs and dug graves.
Which church were you a part of?
I worship the Albright Palor.
Right, and these people love the idea of the sun, if I'm not mistaken. And they do all these parties and things. They do like all these festivals or,
This land has a conflicting relationship with the sun, it feels.
Yeah, because they probably haven't really seen it for a while.
well, they're like burning things from my understanding. What
I
did they hear? Didn't we hear that they already did like the burning of like some type of effigy? Kind of like they were doing up on, like they were doing
In
up on-
fairness, the last effigies that we saw burning was Quinn lighting it on fire.
Yeah, that's true.
But who doesn't love a good bonfire? Bonfires are excellent for festivals and celebrations.
Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is it just so happens that we have a priest, a high mucky muck, or some sort of thing. Maybe that's our way to be able to talk to this burgomaster without just being straightforward and just being like, hi, hey, here, we're here to hunt everything down and murder all the land, and
Well, we are not here to murder all the land. We are here to eliminate the evil haunting the land.
And we just escorted the children of the burgomaster of Barovia here, so it's not like we're not like have any level of
Well, that's not
clout.
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that
Also, this place is very fond of its parties and alcohol, and we have returned supply of their lost wine. Certainly, that should buy us some level of gratitude.
Not only that, please don't count on me for that. I am not good with people. I tend to the dead.
Excuse me, Danica. How are things going since last night?
She kind of pats her stomach down. It's like, oh, after that night, I told the husband to tell these hunters no more fowl for at least a week.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. Hey, I just had some questions. You two seem to be fairly knowledgeable as to the local goings on. Is there anything you can tell me about this, I don't know, feud or whatever it is between your burgomaster and Lady Watchter?
Her eyebrows kind of just go. And it's like, oh dear, don't get involved in the feud with those two. I've seen too many good people get involved and lose their life. Those two vie for control as bad as cats and dogs fight. It's a very brutal outcoming.
What do you mean? How do people lose their lives?
Well, either the burgomaster tries to get someone to get information on Lady Watcher, or she employs fiends and those poor saps end up fighting each other, and yeah, there's we call it the murder of the week because we end up just finding a body, and you know, it's only conjecture, but we believe that that's because someone was employed by someone else, and unfortunately, the secret got out. Very, very sad
I
thing.
see. What kind of power are they vying for?
Well, as you know, the burgomaster is in charge of this entire town and acts as the sole authority here.
Right.
And Lady Watcher doesn't believe he's doing a good enough job, and she wants to wrestle control. Things really broke down at the moment when they, well, let's just say that Lady Watcher's daughter did not gave a hard no to Victor's hand in marriage to quash this thing, and oh, it's been brutal ever since.
So, the daughter gave the burgomaster a big old nope, Dear
Yes.
John sort of thing.
Oh dear. I, if I had to put it in other terms, I've seen vases smashed with better care and consideration when they fall from the ground. That poor boy. Oof. I haven't actually seen him in public since.
Let's see. Do you have any feelings one way or the other as to who is in the... Do you think that the burgomaster's doing a decent job, or...
Well, we haven't had a full-on attack from Strahd in a while, so the town's been at least secure in that sense, but Lady Watcher does put out a good point that we are spending way too many resources on a what if, where we could be trying to do something more for this town. And I don't enjoy the forced merriment. I think it's kind of disingenuous to those of us who can't keep the facade going.
Well, you got plenty of wine now. There's a facade for you.
She's like, oh, indeed, this definitely will make it easier to, well, how can we put it? Make the days not seem so hard and long.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the information. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Just be careful with Lady Watcher. She has a bad penchant for not tolerating fools quite well. One time I saw a poor man come out in nothing but his breeches and lots of signs of lashing on the back. Poor man hasn't left since.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the size of my companions and our weapons, but we also do not tolerate fools easily.
She gets a small grin to his face. Indeed, according to the letter, you guys went through a lot, and thank you again for clearing my husband's name and repaying the debt on his behalf. I think there could be some mending between, him and his father.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Also, we killed the fuck out of that turkey.
You could kind of see her kind of get a look. He's, no, too soon.
It's been over. Okay, sure. I'm so sorry to bring that up. Thank you so much again for your time, and I appreciate the information.
She gives you a slight nod as she goes back to kind of refilling the barrels up front.
All right, so what do we say, Burgermeister, or just go straight there and be like, "What's up?"
If we, based on what you have discovered, speaking with the Burgermeister first may cause her to be hostile.
That's true, but I think the Burgermeister is a little kind of suspect with the amount of revelry that he's forcing these people to do. It just seems kind of weird. Am I wrong?
I am inclined to agree it is unusual. What makes a festival special is that it is rare, that it only happens on occasion. When it happens every day, it loses that something meaningful. But that said, it again, if we make any appearances of being friendly to him, it seems as though we will appear enemies of hers.
I can get on board with that. So let's let us. I think we're probably best just going and seeing what she's up to. What's everybody else's feelings on it? Vika, not Vika, Matilda, Lucy.
I'm good with going and seeing what she thinks.
Direct
Well,
approach.
Yes, very direct.
So I'm,
We're not so much sneaky types, right? Lyndon,
Not
you have
really.
any?
I am very sneaky, to be clear.
I think
So am I, but
the point is that of those of us who remain here, none of us are particularly excellent at verbal subterfuge. We lost our more charming individuals.
speak for your fucking self.
No offense,
So-
Kevin, but you are frequently abrasive.
That's fair.
The most likable among us are, no offense, but myself and especially this one and point to Parrot. And this one can't talk. Well, communicate in a more direct fashion.
No one. I mean, we're a group of people that has two gigantic lumbering people and a birdman. And of course there's me, but the thing is that we're not really like the most approachable people, you know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with us. It's everybody
Eclectic.
else.
This is the word you're looking for.
Sure.
Sure,
All
we'll go
I'm
with that.
saying is that I don't know. Listen, we're in public, so I don't want to be talking about anything ne'er do well or anything. But if you want to introduce your, is that what we're talking about? We're talking about ourselves, introducing ourselves to this lady, even though like we're just here. Like maybe it's not the best idea to make ourselves available to her. Is that the theory we're going with right now?
Well, she had something that could help us in our fight against Strahd.
I understand that, and we want that thing. There are ways to go about that, getting the thing, or there are other alternatives. If you understand what I'm saying, but like, does any of the like, are we just straight up? I'm just asking,
Not
are we
pulling
going
the pulling the
do we-
old sneaky.
Yeah, like Lyndon keeps looking over his shoulders, and then he snaps his fingers, and then he psionically communicates to Quinn and Vika.
Oh, what? Wait, what is this? This is no.
No, you get
No.
used to it.
Basically, like we're in a situation like we could try to just at least scout out and see if what she has inside. Like we can work like me and Quinn are sneaky enough. We could probably go for that alternative. Now, if it's a situation where there's some of you down in the lobby or in the middle of the house, and we're in the back door doing something, like maybe there's a way that we could all be there to do some type of operation. I know this hasn't been like how we've operated. We're mostly into like the straight, basically, I believe we call it a smash and grab where I'm from, but this is more of just like, can we try to go through the back door and see what's going on? It might not be the best idea, but subtlety.
The things that I hesitate over is just the potential to make an enemy where there was none before.
This
Breaking into someone's home is a.
Did the tarot reading not say that this is an enemy of Strahd? She's going to be our enemy no matter what.
It did say that she is a staunch ally of the devil.
Yeah,
so.
a staunch ally of the devil. Excuse me. So she's our enemy. Like, there's no getting around that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of offending the lady. I'm more concerned with whether or not we'll be able to get in. If we of like tipping our hand, that might be more of a concern.
if she's powerful as as they say she is too, she probably already knows about us. Just a theory, just spitballing that out.
That is possible, especially if she is a staunch ally of the devil. Then again, the Vistani are as well, and they have been most helpful to us.
So
Everybody's just
and
watching,
then,
just like stare at each
yeah,
other.
and then outside of my psionic talk, I just bring up like, I mean, we could do whatever we want. I was just I just wanted to present that option, or I am available to attempt said option. Isn't it better to go talk to the burgomaster first? That'd be my only. That's my only question.
And to Vika's point as well, she was concerned that, oh, we're going to make her upset because of us talking to the burgomaster. It might be more like that may be a foregone conclusion anyway, because we're there trying to get her shit. So being seen as her not ally may be a moot point.
Did I overhear her say something about it was a Danica over there? Did I overhear her saying like she like let minions out against people? Did I hear that correctly?
Did she use the word fiend?
Yeah, she described them as fiends. But
So
more.
at this point in time, how long has this conversation been going on in your heads?
Not very long.
It was I have broken I broke like talking out like we spent like just like a couple minutes inside our heads, and then like basically the point where I brought up like robbing her, I was trying to keep. I just didn't want anybody hearing us talk about like, hey, we're gonna go rob her shit and take her
There was
stuff.
like 100 seconds of intense, prolonged eye contact between the three of them, and then all
Prolonged
of a sudden,
eye contact.
yeah, there it is. And then we were back to communicating aloud.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like right now, I'm publicly asking like Danica said something about fiends or whatever. So that's what I
Fiends.
wanted to get a clarification of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Danica. When you said fiends to me, did you mean like ruffians and thugs, or did you mean like fiends?
The former.
Okay. That's a different story.
In this land, the word could be taken either way.
She nods her head. It's like, point taken. And she just kind of go back to kind of just taking count and writing stuff on parchment.
But well, on the subject, I'm a little curious as well, because most of the people that we've run into have been kind of, afraid of this whole, looming vampire threat from over at Castle Ravenloft. But we have reason to believe that this Watcher is not so much on the afraid side of Von Zarovich. Do you think that that's an accurate read?
She stops writing for a second and ponders. She's like, I never quite thought about it in that sense. I was more thinking that her affairs are so private that we really don't know what goes in or out. I know she has a book club, but outside of that, there's not very much information known except that she comes from a old household.
You say she has a book club?
A book club? That sounds very genial.
Yes,
I
apparently.
don't know, it sounds violent.
She takes people of interest to her, and she brings them to her establishment once every few weeks, and they have a sit down and discuss the literature that she prescribed, and then they come out a few hours later, and it seems like she's taken a liking to a few folks, but sometimes she'll just invite people at random and mix up the group. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Maybe she's just bored.
Out of curiosity, do you happen to have the names of any of these folk who attend her club?
She shakes her head. It's like, no, they're not the types that are the usuals around here. I only get members from the locals who talk about, oh, the book club is meeting tonight, and that's about it. But my patrons talk about it at least.
When are one of these meetings happen? Is there one coming up?
She rubs her chin. She's like, It's hard to say. I think if there is one that's due, it would be sometime in the next few days. But again, there's not really a pattern to it.
Oh boy. Well, now that would be a way to get in.
Yeah, do we have any idea? Do you have any idea how they like select people for this book club?
She shakes her head. No, it's like, no, unfortunately, there's not a good way of isolating the individuals you seek. But she does take note of people of particular interest, those who stand out, and she kind of looks over your group. I don't think you'll have a problem with that, at least.
We do stand out. We are outstanding.
That is.
I don't think that's how that word's supposed to be used.
It is now.
That is one way to put it.
Oh, Dr. Atrix would have had a lot of fun with this.
He lacked books.
Well, it's just a fun thought.
I mean, we can go around and see. I suppose.
I would imagine sitting around here, not talking to anybody, is probably not going to get us anywhere. We're just, I'm for whatever plan. I'm not trying to be, contrarian. So.
All right. So what do you say, Burgermaster, or straight to the lady?
I am for the Burgomaster. I would like to traipse around the whole thing and pick up as much information as we can about her before we go approach her.
I will very much like slap my wing down on the table. Burgomaster.
All right. Okay. So let's go and talk to the Burgomaster and see if we can find out what's going on with that whole thing.
For the record, this does not mean I have to read books, right?
You will not have to read books. You will be fine.
Thank you. Okay.
There's a lot of technique to learn to read in books, though. There's lots of technique on fighting. I know I don't seem like a book-learned person, but, I have tried to learn a bit about the occult in my time.
For some reason, I'm not shocked by that information.
Did anybody else notice this place fucking cleared out?
It became a lot more comfortable to talk about this stuff as people cleared out, but maybe they were just, going about their
besides
business.
that one man who's sitting in the same spot he was at last night.
Yeah. I don't like that dude. Alright, well, just be prepared. Let's go and, let's get the ball rolling on this. I want to see if we can find out anything that we know about, if we can find what happened to Dr. Etrix or Salith as well. They're just gone.
So, was it Lucy that noticed the man in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
$11.
You know, for a second there, you might have caught him just kind of getting into your conversation a bit, but you also just see him just kind of humming along and just writing stuff on a piece of parchment. So he may have not been looking at you, but in your general direction as he's kind of putting together some sort of lyrics or something to that effect.
I'll lean into the table a little bit and just say, I don't know if he was trying to listen in, but he's legitimately the only one who stayed. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Well, we might as well head out and see if we can find anything from the Burgomaster or whatever's going on there. I don't think there's anything to it. How does your telepathy thing work? Like, are we still like linked?
The 3, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it lasts like all day, like 8 hours.
All right. I just want to like look sideways at you and just speak into your brain. Like maybe one of us should like hang back and see if he tries to follow us.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll. You want me to see if he goes outside? So I'll go. Yeah, I'll take care of
Yeah.
it.
So we're gonna head out and try to find our way to the burgomaster's house, and Lyndon will hang back and see if the dude like leaves and tries to follow us.
All right.
Yeah, and then my link lasts up to a mile away, so I can let you
Oh,
know.
that's
when I
amazing, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
That'll make sneaking into the like if we try to do sneaking into the house things also possible.
No, like seriously, the only thing I need is I need a way to have night vision. It's like the only thing that I like. I think I'm, I think this character is like the character's pretty good at like doing what he wants to do. It's just I can't see a dang thing.
Well, we have a lantern.
But that's not so much with a sneaky. It's a shame that I can't like have you take my mutagens because you would probably just die. Because I can make a night vision. I can make a
Right.
dark vision mutagen.
Well, we had a wizard that was I took to like trying to get night vision. Anyways, So we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
And Lyndon's gonna go hide. I don't know. Are these people just milling around out here? What's going on as we leave?
Yeah, they're just kind of hanging out, just talking about these two guys right here are just talking about what hunting grounds that they're going to, and then these two guys are talking about you know what they're planning to do for the festival of the day, and the kids are just kind of poking with sticks in the ground, prodding with the mud and grass, just being kids.
Well, I'm definitely like suspicious. So I'm just like walking out with hand on the crossbow, just like ready in case people like, because people just hanging out outside of the inn like is weird.
Right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go out the front door, and as the party like kind of goes in one direction, I'm gonna kind of like come over here. Is this a window here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not go there. I'll go over to this well. Is there like is it like? Tell me about this well. What's going on with it?
Yeah, the well's probably about halfway full. You can see down in there. It's kind of dark. The water looks pretty settled in there, and nothing too fancy about it. It's pretty well worn cobblestone.
Is it supposed to be drinkable water?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fill up my wineskin with some water, and then like as I'm behind the well, I'll kind of reach over, grab some water, and then I'm gonna try to like duck behind it.
Okay.
I'll make a roll.
All right, and then we're gonna head out towards the.
And hopefully, yeah, and like I've separated myself from the party, so hopefully, like I'm not. Anyways.
Head out to the burgomaster's house.
Okay. All right. So. Yep.
All right, I rolled a 29 stealth, so
Oh, damn.
let me know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. How long are you planning on waiting out there by the well?
So through the window, can I see him?
It's kind of dirty, and the glass isn't really translucent. It's kind of got an opaque look, but you can make out a silhouette, and once in a while you see some movement of his head bobbing up and down, and you can kind of see him looking out the window for a few seconds. But you can kind of just make out a silhouette just kind of sitting there.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna wait to see. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna give the party like a good amount of time to get away. And then I'm gonna wait to see if he comes out. Gosh, maybe 10 minutes. I mean, I think that's probably more than enough time for you guys to get a huge lead.
Yeah, after 10 minutes, you kind of just see him. You can make out that he has a tankard in his hand and drink. You can see the silhouette of him just taking a drink of something.
So it doesn't look like he's left.
Nah, he's kind of like he's making himself at home there.
Okay. Is there anybody else over here, like just still hanging out, or did they all
No,
disperse as well?
yeah, they
Does anybody else go and follow the party?
no, not in the direction they were going. The hunters and the other folks that were patrons of the tavern, they all went north of the position compared to the party that went east.
Okay. I inform Quinn and Vika that this person hasn't left for moved or 10 minutes, so I feel confident unless he thinks he's tracking me, which
I think we're
would
just
be
being
shocked.
paranoid. Let's just move on.
Yeah, it's our normal behavior. It's not a bad idea though. Though I would like to figure out something about him, but to be done later. Let me know where you're at, and I'll catch up again.
All right. Well, we're by the big house with the yellow door and the gaudy blue paint job.
All right.
What were these people thinking?
Yeah, and then I'll just run along with my squat nimbleness. I've been training so hard to run like a tall folk.
All right. Give me 1 second here.
I'm going AFK.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. I gotta make the map visible to you guys. All right, and then it should pull you guys into the Burgomeister mansion. Oh, and just as a heads up, Lucy, some of the portraits seem like they're off color and stuff. That is just the art design that the artist went with. The characters themselves in most of the pictures should just be normal, traditional European pigmentation for skin color. They're not really these dark gray things. It's just how the artist envisioned it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we had to clear that up when we saw some NPCs early on. They're like, "Oh God, why they look all dead?" I'm like, "Oh wait, sorry guys."
I mean, in fairness, they were actually dead, so, I mean,
Yeah, in that instance, it actually was what they were seeing.
Although I'm not gonna lie, there's a little of the Shining Force element of it, where you go and you talk to a random NPC, and then all of a sudden their like portrait shows up. You're like, oh, this person's important.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they made some time to kind of make some generic NPC tokens for the stuff, but it's a lot of time to just draw a portrait. I don't expect them to give me a whole thing of NPCs while I'm at it. All right, everyone on the map and at the front door, so to speak.
Still
Yep.
loading
I'm
for me.
still loading.
Okay, let me know when you guys are loaded. Alright, well actually, as we wait, I'll give you a description. This mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's doubled entrance doors. As you guys were walking towards the mansion, you can tell that people come and go in small groups, and at one point you even seen a pair of guards taking people in and out of the mansion as well.
All right. Well, head up to it and rap on the door, I suppose.
Alright, yeah. As you guys approach the door, you hear a voice says, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Greetings. My friends and I were traveling to this town with the children of the Burgomaster of Barovia, and we wanted to introduce ourselves to the fine leader of this establishment.
Oh, guess. Oh, how wonderful. I will be right. be right with you. As she, you hear the sliding of some locks and doors, and she opens the door wide. It's like, oh, I see. You're not just delivery folks. Oh, that's fine. We enjoy entertaining guests. Please come in.
Wonderful. You have a very lovely home here.
She blushes. Oh, I wish this was my home. Oh, I wish it were. I'm just the maiden. Sorry, not the maid. The maid of the establishment, or a maid, I should say.
Well, the work you do is fantastic, and I'm sure is not complimented enough. So
She kind of takes a gander at Lucy and Matilda. Oh, you two. She points at you two. Please, you have to come with me. The lady of the house would love new company. I'm sure she would love to hear your tales. Please come with.
I, I,
she wants company of ladies, eh? Because we have more.
She looks puzzled. She points to the to Parrot. That one?
Not quite.
no, I'm our lovely Minotaur friend.
You can tell that her flush gets flushed with embarrassment. She's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm not really well acquainted with people of the non-human looking variety. My apologies, ma'am."
Is all right. It is hard for me to tell small little human-looking people apart too.
She calls me a halfling all the time.
You're so small.
She beckons the three female characters forward. She's like, "Please come with me."
Vika clumps in her full armor, shield, and weapon at her side.
She pauses, like, "You three gentlemen, please wait here in the foyer while I return. I'm sure the Burgermeister himself would love to have your company."
All right, we'll hang out.
Well, let's not snap you through it. Okay. Yep. She grabs you three and kind of brings you to the middle of the hall. You guys see a huge bundle of wood just kind of being stacked up on the sides of the hallway as you guys enter. You hear a knock on the door saying, you hear a knock on the door, and Mira kind of just goes, "Lady Petrona, we have more visitors for you, more hands for the projects of the town." And she opens the door. Inside, you see a taller woman who's out busy at work with stitching and trying to make essentially costumes or some sort of children-like clothing. She's like, "Ah." She she kind of goes, "Ah, well, I I didn't believe that we had new visitors. Please have a seat. Pick up a set of needles, or if that's not your thing, you're more than welcome to try to do some rope work and try to get these dolls finished for the festival tonight. Please make yourselves at home." You can see on the table it's like a huge crafting table. You see, rolls of yarn. You see, basically cotton, or not cotton, but wool bundles to kind of stuff for dolls, and you see kind of some what would be horsehair or maybe other fine hair to make dolls with. Um, Vika, Lucy, and Matilda, go ahead and roll me a perception roll, please.
Certainly.
9. I see nothing.
18.
20.
Okay. So, Vika and Matilda, it's barely noticeable, but you can kind of tell that the other women at the table are kind of feel like they're not so much forced there, but you can tell that they're more here out of obligation than here out of pleasantries. They kind of give you it at first looked like a genuine smirk, but you can kind of tell that there's something behind it.
On the table, are there any like wooden carving sort of things, tools or blocks of wood for carving
Yeah,
statues or similar things?
yeah. You kind of see some sandpaper and a carving knife and some small bundles of wood there.
Vika will gravitate to those. So, gentle small ladies, what are we celebrating this day?
Oh, it's the festival of the blazing sun. As Karina goes, ah yes, this is our favorite weekly festival because it's all about celebrating the sun and how one day maybe our children will grow up underneath the warmth of that in a clear sky. And they kind of, the Lydia kind of sits there and she gives out a wide smile. It's like, yes, one day my sons or daughters will be outside in a full field of flowers, and it'll be a grand day when that happens.
This nothing against it. It is lovely at times, but there are all sorts of problems with this, especially if you are sufferer of allergies. Flowers are not so good.
Sunburns hurt.
Oh, sunburn is I hear terrible. It is less problem than covered with fur.
They kind of look at you. What's a sunburn? Is that the same as a you know a burn from a hot kettle or a fire or something?
Almost, but not quite. It's the sun itself is powerful, and it can potentially make you redden and blister, depending on how long you stay out in it, especially for those of a fair skin.
Their eyes get wide and they beckon you to sit. And it's like, can are you not from around here?
Then there's the whole heat exhaustion. This is the bad part. You get overheated and you start feeling like you're boiling from the inside. It's like being in a room with too many fires, and it is very bad. Too
Actually, that's
much
the
time
best
in
way
the
to
sun.
explain it, Vika. It's say you're standing too close to a bonfire, that heat that you feel can easily be what the sun makes you feel. However, it is very wonderful and warm.
Victoria kind of trembles, and she's like, "Oh, if I can only have that. I've read books about people in the sun, and what do they call it? An an ocean where there's a beach of sand and people can just be there and have the sun dry them. Oh, that feels so great."
Oh, that is the beach. The ocean is fantastic. I lived. My town was on coast. Ships would come and go every day. You could see out into the endless nothing of the glittering waters. It was it was beautiful. Vika starts looking a little bit sad.
Oh, Lydia kind of claps her hands like, "Mira, please fetch the good tea and the jam. Our guests are going to regale us with tales of the outside world, and it's been such a long time. We have to compliment them for such great stories, please." And she gives kind of Mira kind of gives a curtsy, and she kind of goes, "Once I get the other guests seated, I will bring that right to you." She kind of goes over to Matilda. "Please have a seat." And you can tell that she has a bit of a nervousness about her, and as she shuffles towards the door.
Tilda's very uncomfortable.
The entire time that they have been talking, like Vika has been barely looking at what she's doing with her hands, but has been carving a rather like intricate like bouquet of flowers and like butterfly landing on one of the petals. Like she is proficient with wood carver tools.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand with advantage. See how good it is.
Sleight of hand. do I get to add my proficiency to that or no?
Yeah, go ahead, because you're using tools.
Okay, I'll have to add that manually. Proficiency is 3. So 15.
Yeah, you're able to get the design that you want. You had wished for slightly better material to give you the shading and stuff that you would like, but you make do with what you have and you come up with a pretty delicate set of carvings that you approve of. All right, so while that is going on, we'll sidestep to the lads. And as you guys walk through, you see the same thing. You see bundles of wood just kind of littering the sides of the hallway and the vestibules area, and you can hear Vika talking about Vika and the rest of the group telling them about how everything was going on with uh, uh, the stories that she's telling them about everything else. Let me double check my map here, because I am. Is that really where he's at? Oh, no. He is. Okay, never mind. I took you guys too far. She ushers you into essentially a den, and you see a bunch of padded chairs and couches that line the wall of this cozy carpeted den. The room reeks of pipe smoke, and mounted on the east wall is the head of an angry-looking brown bear. Mira kind of just tells you to make yourselves comfortable, and she'll be back momentarily with the Burgomeister himself.
While in this room, I just kind of want to walk around and inspect for anything suspicious, more erring on the side of like secret door-esque things.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me investigation.
I'm just gonna get into a staring contest with a bear.
Never mind. That's a 9.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that the the bear is, the taxidermy around the bear is actually not too shabby. Nothing of really any important note. Kind of notice that the pungent smell that, smoke can, depending on your character, could either be very pleasant or a little bit too much.
Ooh, one of those things. Do I notice anything shiny in the room?
No, aside from the pipe, no, not really.
Okay.
Well, I'm sitting in the very comfortable looking chair. Well, this is not a bad chair. I reckon these are nice abodes comparatively to everything else that we've seen.
Well, this is the mayor of the town essentially. He's the one in charge of everything. Of course, his house is going to be nicer than most.
Well, I mean, we've been in other houses of people that like they're nice, but they were terrible. So, it's kind of weird that they just kind of split us up by our respectable,
Penises.
yeah, that's one way of putting it. And that we just let that happen.
Or whatever we might have.
I was going to look down very
attention.
sheepishly at that. Also, thank you for bringing up cloacas again. I appreciate you.
Yes.
It seems to be my thing, apparently.
There's nothing more desirable than talking about cloacas in public. Oh, all right. Well, you didn't find anything out of the ordinary, and you would have said something.
No, we're not here to intrude or, steal all their shit. We're just here to kind of see if we can figure out what's going on with this lady.
Yeah, no, I just sit comfortably in the chair, probably bouncing my legs a little bit, seeing the bounciness of the chair.
You with your chair.
You hear a knock on the door. Mira opens it up, and she goes, "Presenting Burgermeister Baron Vargas Velikovic." You see a kind of a stout-looking man kind of goes, "I dare say. I was told there were hunters, but my word, you really do look the part. After looking at my amazing bear, to tell you the story about how me and my friend hunted it for 2 days in the blasted woods and took it down with a single bow strike. It was magnificent. The best day of my youth.
That sounds like a fantastic story. I did something similar, but instead of it being a bear, it was a werewolf, so it's a little different.
Literally, after you say like that sounds magnificent, I definitely psionically tell you liar.
He kind of just goes, "What? Did you hear that?"
No, I didn't hear nothing. So, I'm sorry. What was the name again? All those titles and all that. It kind of got messed up in my head.
He kind of goes, Vargas. Vargas Velikovic.
Mr. Vargas. My name is Emerson Quinn, and it is very nice to meet you. Well, my hunter friends and I are here on behalf of the burgeoning burgomaster of Barovia, who we escorted to your fine chapel just the other day. Um, they're here on a level of pilgrimage. We were just curious because we were looking for something from a friend of yours, Lady Fiona Watcher, and we were wondering if you had any insight into her and what it is that we might be able to bargain with her about.
He scoffs. He's like, that woman. That woman has been credible for a deal since her daughter broke it off with my son. She can't be trusted. Best to just not deal with her. Let her rot in her home.
Well, I mean, she has something that is of value to us, so I don't think that's really an option. What caused the whole rift between her and your son? What made that whole thing happen?
Ah, that is a very disappointing tale, unfortunately. You see, we were trying to get past this feud between her and I when it came down to leadership of this town. Of course, the rightful descendant of my house charged with leadership, I I was meant to rule this town, and by all that is holy, I have done my part. But she didn't feel the same. She felt that my strong will and testament to protect this town would draw the ire from Strahd, and unfortunately, she never got over the fact. And you know, I decided, being the good man that I am, that I would bring out a what do we they say in the books, an olive branch. I've never seen one, but apparently you reach out and try to broker a peace agreement, and I would join our houses together, my son, her daughter, and they could be the next generation to rule our fair town of Alaki. Unfortunately, her scoundrel of a daughter decided to think that my son was not good enough for her, and it's the poor lad, so heartbroken over that. Well, let's just say that he's still suffering from a broken heart, and now I've decided that she isn't worth any more. I couldn't bear to see my son go through so much pain and agony. Goes to show you that, you know, the right stuff can only be bred and not be, what is that thing, nurtured. Yes, yes. That's why I
I
said,
see.
yes.
So your son was slatted by his. Did he have some sort of relationship with her before asking her to marry her, or is this all political?
Well, how could you not resist being, the son of the Burgomeister? Proper standing and, impeccable, political lifestyle. You'd be crazy not to do that. I was doing her a favor. Her daughter had no suitors whatsoever. Bah.
I see. Was your feud? Your feud was before this whole marriage slatting, correct?
Well, if you want to call it that, I always one-upped her in everything that we did when it came to convincing the town to choose new leadership, to picking out the festivals and winning over the folks. She couldn't give the fact that people enjoyed my practicality of living in defiance rather than in servitude to some some vampire who thinks that he can just rule this land with an iron fist.
Are you implying that she would want to live in subservience to Strahd?
Ah, she just believes the path of least resistance would be better off.
So what would that mean? That your gates would be more open and your walls wouldn't be as protected?
She believed that if we gave him the proper due respect, that he would just leave us alone and not attack. It's all foolery, I say.
So like you don't pay any taxes or anything to him? Like he doesn't. What does he come by? Does he come by and do things? Does he ask for like children or something awful?
Oh, he intends to demand a sacrifice and demand we give him his due in blood, and I won't have it any other way. These are my people, and I won't stand for it.
How has that worked out for you?
He he kind of has this wide grin, like, were you here a few days ago when we were parading with werewolf hides on the pikes? Not a single man was lost collecting those heads.
That's an amazing story again, but did not answer my question.
He goes, when you went to Barovia, how did the people live there? Were they were they like our fair folk, out in the streets, living out normal lives, or were they in cowards living in their homes?
Well, whether or not they live in defiance, it's one thing, but whether or not that defiance is justified is another. So, again, my question is, does it stop Strahd from coming in and getting what he wants?
He goes, no, of course not, but we'd rather die on our feet than on our hands and knees.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
So, is there anything else you can tell us about this Lady Voctor? I mean, she just simply they denied your marriage proposal, and that's that. What now? What has anything come of that lately?
He kind of shakes his head, like, nope, my poor boy's upstairs in his room refusing to come out, and I have to live with the shame knowing that my son was slighted by a woman of a lesser home. I'm too busy with my tasks of being the magistrate and judge, along with ensuring that I keep the morale up in town. There really isn't time to think about such very little things like a slighted marriage anymore.
Well, I know it's not my place to say as a guest of this fine city, but with all this revelry and all that, is that necessary or helpful? Because some of the lesser folk, I'm so sorry to bring to your attention, seem a little bit more, how to say, resentful of all of this living in excess and trying to keep up this appearance of being happy and still getting, frankly, eaten by a vampire every night.
As as I've come to believe and as I've tell everyone, all will be well. And all we have to do is keep to the path. The non-believers will see that one day they'll look back and understand that this was the right way to live, in defiance.
Well, like the path of what? Like, is there a deity that you follow?
He kind of raises an eyebrows. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that you're visitors. Are you familiar with our traditions?
Not terribly, obviously.
Let me just make sure. I just want to make sure I'm saying this right, real quick.
Is the DM familiar with the traditions?
Apparently not.
I wanted to say the morning sun, but it's the morning lord. The morning lord will, guide us, and Mother Night shall protect us. We struck to these beliefs and ensure that, one day when eventually that devil decides to leave or someone defeats him, it will all be worth it in the end.
Oh, all right. Well, you know, I can get behind blind optimism. That's one thing that this place is sorely lacking. Um, but yeah, I just feel like it might put your guard down. I don't know. Like you see nothing amiss. There's nothing going on that like you don't feel like your position's in trouble or anything like that.
The devil have sent legions, well, not all at once, but enough to keep us alert. Our guards are at every door, at every gate, and our night patrols keep a vigilant watch. And attacks come and go, and yet we're still here.
I understand. Like you're talking about from without. I'm talking about from within. Like this lady, like she has not done anything untowardly towards you other than political things.
He shakes his head. He's like, she wouldn't dare risk the rest of her reputation in this town.
So she's never made an open attack or a move against you.
No, she likes to play games and try to employ people in the shadows to, do things to disrupt my festivities or bring harm to my guests near my property to try to bring slights. She last week, I'm sure of it, she sent someone to remove the heads off of the pikes before we could do our parade, and I had that man arrested and thrown in the stocks. I'm pretty sure she hired him to do that.
I want to make an insight roll. I'm just trying to make sure this guy is like not, you know, full of it.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
It's not like I'm good at this, but boom, 14.
You know, at
Boom.
first it seems like it's all BS, but what really is BS is how much he believes it. But he's speaking, there's no lie, he's speaking the truth, even though it sounds like it's more ego talking than fact. But there's no lie in what he's saying.
Do you have a miniature for this guy? We don't have a picture of him on the screen, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I made him visible.
Yeah, no, I was just like,
Yeah, he looks all messed up.
Yeah.
It's one of the
That is
classic.
one gigantic forehead.
Yeah, and with like
five head.
with just
And
a
even a
glorious
six-head.
little curly Q on it.
Right.
He looks like a douche.
Yeah, that's
He comes off like a douche.
yeah, like I said,
Physically or literally?
he's not lying to you, but my God, you can smell his ego, and every word his ego just comes off of it it's like you can almost smell it. It's not a really great smell.
I psionically say something to Quinn. I'm actually kind of like testing it to see if this guy picked it up because he sounded like he picked it up earlier. What do you think, Quinn?
I don't know. I feel like he's buying his own bullshit.
I'm looking at the Baron after like he says that back to me psionically. Like, does he have a twinge or a look in his face or something?
No, he's just kind of, he doesn't look like he's responding directly to what you're saying, but he's just kind of giving you all a look over and kind of just nodding himself in assurance that he's selling you on he's selling you on what he's trying to advertise. He thinks he has you bought into his grand plan.
All right.
So you don't. So you're just living in harmony with this lady. She's not doing any harm to you, and everything's just peachy and golden. You don't need our help with anything. Is that what you're trying to tell us? After all, we are mighty hunters.
He he kind of looks at you and he's like, rumor has it that the wine, that someone started carved wine with some fellows. Was that you by chance?
It wasn't me. I mean, like, are you talking about the people who have brought back the wine?
Yes, yes. It just occurred to me that the people, some townsfolk were saying that there's been a shipment of wine from the vineyard outside of
Hmm.
town, and they said something about odd-looking fellows, and it just occurred to me that you could be one of the same. Is that true? Were you guys responsible for bringing the wine back into the town?
We were actually
Ah,
travels fast.
yes. Well, very little gets in my town. I would prefer that if if you would honor me in this town, we would like to have you join me as our special guest for ensuring that the festivities can continue in earnest and with grandeur. With now the fact that our people can take the edge off now with the wine, we would very much like to honor you at our next festival here in a week or two.
Well, we'll see how we are in a week or two. Because we are we have hunting that needs done. So,
He kind of backs. Like, understand, the work always comes first.
I have to go AFK for a minute.
Okay. All right. Anything else that
Yeah,
the other two?
you can bounce back to the other group.
Okay.
I think
So
we've gotten what we needed from him so
okay.
far. I mean,
If you guys are done with there, I wanted to talk to the ladies some more.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Um, Vika lays down the wreath that she created in front of the what Baroness. The
Yeah.
other fellow is a Baron. This seems like a great amount of work. All of you must be kept very busy if this sort of thing is so common in this town.
Yeah, the Baroness you kind of see her needlework. She's like, "Oh, well, we need to do what we can to keep the spirits up, and as as my husband tirelessly tries to do so with planning and administering the town, I work tirelessly to ensure that, the less fortunate can have dolls and have clothing and everything that they need to ensure that there's one less thing they have to worry about in providing for the youth of this town." Kind of tell as she's kind of finishing up, stitching together another shirt, and get started on another one.
That is very generous. And Vika looks at the other ladies at the table and tries to gauge how they feel. Insight check.
Oh, yeah.
22.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell that she. You can tell that she, as she said that, she's very tired as she says it, but you really wouldn't catch it unless you kind of checked her inflect and tone as she's kind of working through stuff. Seems like when she's in the middle of transitioning through tasks, as she was saying stuff, a little bit of her character breaks through.
And the other women at the table?
They're kind of avoiding eye contact every once in a while and kind of trying to focusing on at the tasks at hand. You see Mira kind of come back in and lays down, cakes and breads and hot drinks around, and you can kind of tell that as she's doing so, the women's eyes kind of get wide, and it seems like they're slightly hesitant, and they kind of have to force themselves to not just they force themselves to kind of grab the items in front of them without looking too hasty at it.
Vika reaches over and just takes a small piece and pops it in her mouth. Oh, this food is wonderful. It is so generous of you to provide such a fantastic spread to your guests. An excellent hostess, yes?
Yeah, the other women at the table kind of nod their head, and it's kind of like how for lack of a better analogy, it's kind of like you see in the movies that people who are kind of forced to be there kind of just kind of nod their head in like kind of a nervous respect and kind of tries to pass it off as this is normal.
But sometimes I sort of wonder, while walking down the streets of your fine little town, does it not get what is word monotonous that you have so many festivals, these things that makes it so wonderful that they are rare amidst all the daily boring work that all the common folk must undertake on a daily basis.
Uh, the Baroness kind of takes a look and excuse me, she basically lets out a long sigh. It's like, oh, my dear, when you live in such a dreary town and all the options you have is to live in fear or live in defiance, we we kind of default to what my husband says that all will be well. And it's always best to try to put your best foot forward. And if it means having parties on a frequent basis, then so be it. I don't see the problem with that. And the townsfolk don't seem to have an issue having something to distract them from their daily woes, right, ladies? And they all kind of shake their head in reluctant agreement. It's one of those
But it
feelings.
is definitely reluctant.
Yeah, it's like one of those like, well, I mean, there's not a better option, so I guess we have to agree with it. Sort of feel for it.
And this does not prove to be difficult for those less fortunate than yourselves. I mean, you're a fine and upstanding hostess and an excellent lady of the manor, but certainly all this time for these festivals must be difficult for the peasantry to keep up with. They do not have such leisure time, and all this time spent on preparing festivals instead of procuring food for themselves or their children or other such very important necessities. Certainly, this must be a hardship.
Let me see what I want to do with that here. You know what? The three of you in this room, Lucy, Matilda, and you could go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Oof. 14.
25.
Oh
15.
boy. At 25.
Yeah, you can tell that this one here pauses for a brief moment in her stitching and, lets out a.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. This one here
Okay.
kind of kind of stops the middle of her stitching and kind of looks down for a second, and then she realizes what she's doing and hurriedly gets back to work.
Am I the only one that notices?
Oh, I'm sorry. All of you passed that check. I
Oh.
was like, wait, what am I missing here? Like, yeah, you guys all passed your check.
Sorry, I was jotting it down so we can reference it later. Um. Well. Uh, so it was just the assault, as I said. Where I am from, we host festivals only rarely, so that they can be something special to delight in, rather than uh, just another day.
She lets out a long sigh. It's like, outsiders like you would not understand the daily struggle. At any point, if at any point we could be like Barovia, guards, our entire guards being destroyed and people huddling in their homes. If I have to live, I'd rather not be like those folks. I'd rather be like us in Valaki, where we can at least be, we can at least live our own lives, if not in in true honesty. At least we don't have to live in fear. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, my dear.
That is fair. I have heard there is someone who believes differently from your kind and generous thoughts for the common folk. a lady to the north, I believe,
Oh,
who has interfered with some of these things.
pah, that witch. She always tries to interfere with our daily lives, touting nonsense like we should show him respect even though he's a negligent lord, and how every day we're just going to incur his wrath even more so than other towns that, no longer function, and yada yada yada. Bah, she's been saying that for well over 20 years now, and pah.
Then she is a problem, or is why not do something about it?
She she kind of goes, well, we are a town of law and order, and she technically hasn't broken any rules, at least anything we can convict her of. So, as much as we would like to deal with her, we're forced to just kind of ignore her like a fly in the room.
I see. There are few things I have heard of these women, other than that she is not so thankful to you and your wonderful husband for your generosity to your townspeople, and that she hosts some sort of secretive and um, suspicious book club.
Pa, she is just trying to deal with her own loneliness because no one in town's willing to deal with her, and she just invites some company. Some poor fools probably think that they can get in her good graces and leech off whatever finances she has left. Unlike my friends here at the table who actually enjoy their time with me, right? And she lets out kind of a squeaky laugh, and you definitely pick up that the other women at the table are kind of forcing to laugh along with her.
And does anyone's ears perk up? Does anyone's expression change when I mention the book club?
No, none of them.
Okay. Or the lady in general, like lady watcher in general, watched her. How does her name pronounced?
I was thinking walked her.
Walked her. So
Yeah.
like no one's expression changes when I mention walked her.
No, they kind of just go, oh, it's kind of one of those things that it's like everyone knows her but doesn't really care.
Okay. I just wanted to see like if anyone looks uncomfortable or angry
Like
or
surprised that we know.
Yeah.
yeah, or surprised that we know about her or upset that I was bad mouthing her.
No, they all kind of just go, oh yeah, it's her. No one gives her any time of the day, sort of things. Like they're kind of indifferent about her.
Out of curiosity, miss, besides her certain beliefs, has there been anything else she's done that has vexed you and your family?
You can tell that she gets a slightly, you know, annoyed by it. It's like, ah, yes, oh, blasted daughter broke my poor son's heart, and I've had to deal with that over the course of the last year, and the way that some of the townsfolk look at us as we march through town, thinking, oh, poor them, they couldn't even get a lowly house to join with theirs. We had to deal with that gossip for a month. You can tell that she was kind of ticked off, and then she regains her composure a few seconds after the fact. But no matter, we have better things to worry about, like getting these festivals underway and make sure they're executed in a timely manner.
I'm
Does
just I'm so sorry. You mentioned she mentioned the engagement.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
is your son afflicted by a broken heart? Potentially there's a chance I can help. I am a healer of sorts.
she suddenly her eyes raise like, oh, well, of course. If you think you can mend that poor boy's heart, please do so. All he does now, since that affair has happened, is been in his room, and all I hear is mutterings. Poor boy's probably just crying in his pillow.
mutterings.
It's hard to hear. Every time I knock on the door, he just tells me go away, and all we've been able to do as of late is just give him food and knock on the door, and I haven't seen my poor boy in weeks. I just keep hearing mutters, but at least he's eating. He tends to leave an empty tray out at the beginning and end of each day.
That is a very severe case of heartbrokenness.
Indeed. You tell that she's tearing up a little bit about thinking about her poor son.
Vika kind of gives Lucy a look. A very, very severe case.
A very severe case. Would you or one of your lovely guests here mind escorting me to his room so I may chat with him?
She claps her hands like, Mira, take him to my son. Maybe she can help. So yeah, Mira opens the door and points it like this way, please, and she gestures for you to follow her.
Awesome. I will follow.
Okay, just you.
Matilda, Vika, would either of you like to join me?
Sure.
No, you go right ahead.
If the Baroness isn't looking at me, I'm gonna mouth sorry to Vika.
Tilda would just do anything to stop doing arts and crafts at this point.
Vika's fine with it. Vika's good with her hands. She's just carving away. But like 2 minutes or so after Mira guides them away, Vika's going to stand up, stretch, and pardon my crudeness, but I was wondering if the young lady here could guide me to the powder room. And Vika looks at Karina, the one who had paused before.
Oh, Karina kind of excitedly goes, "Oh, yes, indeed." Actually, that reminds me, is there an actual one on this floor? Let me try to see if there's an actual.
I'm not sure if they actually had a bathroom or not.
There's one on the second floor.
There is. Or are we in outhouse times? Is there a ditch somewhere?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to see. I see something about a bath. I think we're in outhouse land in this world.
Okay, outhouse land it is.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going like, do we actually have toilets in here? I'm like, no, we have just the bath, and God, that's gotta suck to actually drain that bath water unless it goes through a pipe in the floor. Oh no,
Yes.
there is one. Yeah, there is one bathroom upstairs. It looks like they have probably just a chamber pot or something underneath. Okay, yeah, so looks like you guys will head upstairs. Like, wow, there's not one on the first floor. That's gotta be inconvenient unless they just go out in the outhouse.
Something overlooked a bit. They probably did not anticipate a Minotaur needing to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, bathroom. Yeah, so Karina leads you upstairs to the nearest toilet as well. So it looks like the five of you will head upstairs. So. All right. While this is going on, was there anything else that the guys hanging out with the Baron wanted to discuss any further?
I think we got all the information that we needed from here. I don't think that there's. Did either you fellas have anything you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good. I think and the girls are going to go check out the boy, which is kind of secretly what I wanted to go do, but it's all good. They're on it.
On the way up, Vico will, since we're still mentally linked will alert
Yeah.
Lyndon and Quinn of both that Tilda and Lucy are checking on the son, who has apparently locked himself in his room and has been muttering strange things, and that she is isolating a woman who seems deeply uncomfortable with what's going on in the Baron's house and the excessive festivals.
All right. Well,
That's good. This guy's full of himself. That he believes it, I believe.
Yeah, if there's nothing else you guys wanted to question him, he invites you to take a seat, and he would like you to tell him tales of your hunts, or if you like, he can tell you the tale of the hunt of the bear, and he brings out a box of tobacco and offers you guys an opportunity to smoke with him.
I'm trying to cut down myself. Thank you, but no, please tell me the story of the hunting of the bear. That sounds like
Yep. So as as the women go upstairs, he kind of gales you about how, his whole hunting trip, even the preparations about, how much he polished his bow and all that other stuff. So anyway,
that's amazing. I'm not listening to any of it, and I'm trying to listen up for sounds from upstairs and how Lucy and Matilda like are doing because I'm just concerned that I don't know something's gonna jump out of the room.
The three best at subterfuge are the ones sitting downstairs with the Baron, and the three who are the big, like, fully armored, rough and tumble types are the ones who are currently trying to be subtle.
Hey, well, you'll clobber whatever you need to. It's good.
I just kind of find it deeply funny.
You know, it's like every campaign we play. The non-charismatic characters do all the talking.
Yes!
Oh, the important talking.
Poor Kairos and her -1 to charisma.
I'll tell you to shut up eventually. It's okay.
all right, I just want to make sure. Really? Is that really how this is going? Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and just do it that way. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and have. Let's move this to this so I can group them all together. So yeah, you're led up the stairs and you're led to Vika and Corin will go yonder way to over here, and she signals you to over here for the toilet, and then you guys are gonna be over here. So, Vika, let's go and start with you and Karina.
It is difficult, yes, with all of
Oops.
this additional work.
She sighs and kind of goes like, "Well, it's either that or some of us starve. So if I have to just deal with a lot of bad jokes and some handcrafty work, I'd rather do that than be on a empty stomach."
This lack of food, is it from all of the excessive festivals? Do you not have time to do what is necessary?
She kind of looks at you. She's like, "Oh, right, you're outsiders. Listen, I don't know where you've been, but food's kind of scarce just all over, and the rich kind of procure first come, first serve bits on a lot of the stuff. So they usually hire the best hunters, and they get the lion's share of the meat, and any other stuff that comes in from the Vistani, they usually get their hands on. A lot of us just have to pay for overpriced scraps and stuff. If I have to sit there and listen to that lady, tell bad jokes and make a couple of dollars so I can, not only eat but take some to my kids, so be it."
But there is no way of procuring food on your own, some sort of farming or similar that you could do if you had more time.
She sighs. She's like, well, that's if we actually could grow food. Most of the stuff that we eat that we can grow are things like root vegetables and some moss, things that don't require intensive sunlight.
Then these people here, they are not problematic. They are good.
She sighs. She goes, "Yeah, I guess it's not the way I enjoy living my life, you know. Ever since my husband was killed in a werewolf raid, and you know, there's not much for work for a mother with raising two kids at a young age. I have to take what I can get, and it's not really fulfilling, but at least it keeps me and the kids fed."
All right. Just you looked uncomfortable.
She nods
I
her.
wanted to be certain that it was not because you were forced to be where you do not wish to be.
I'd love to do something else, but slim pickings are. This is my best bet to for a steady food supply. At least here I can at least make sure that we're fed, and I don't have to do any dangerous work to do so.
Uh, this I understand, yes. And Vika slips her a gold coin.
She looks at you and it's like, I can't take this.
You have children you must look after, yes?
You can tell she's tearing up a little bit. She's like, thank you.
Thank you for speaking with us.
She pulls out a handkerchief. She's like, please, token my appreciation.
Thank you. This is lovely.
You can see that she's kind of just welling up in tears. Uh,
All right. I think that is it from my side.
okay.
I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't like a captive.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, I mean, she is it, but she isn't.
She is kind of a willing captive.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. All right, so as you guys, as Lucy and Matilda make their way to through the hallway, huh?
Nothing. Never mind.
He was just being stupid.
Yes.
As Lucy and Matilda make it through, they see that the door to the bedroom was open, and so they double back, and um, instead Mira's like, ah, okay. So if he's not here, that means he's got to be in the study. 1 second. She pushes. She doesn't push you, but she gestures you to move back slightly. And she knocks on the door. And Victor, you have guests. Go away. I don't want to see anyone. My heart hurts too much. Mira lets out a long sigh, and she's like, "Okay, your turn." And she kind of just steps over and goes into the room to start fixing it.
I'll go ahead and knock. Victor, my name's Lucy.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm a healer of sorts. Your mother asked me to say hello to you.
It's like, I don't want any. Just leave me alone.
Please, I'd love to help. And I'd love to listen to you tell me about what happened. Talking might help ease the pain.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
That's a -1 to whatever I rolled. This is gonna be fun.
Uh-oh.
Love it.
Can I help her since I'm standing here?
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you go ahead and you try to persuade him. What are you going to tell him?
I'm just gonna ask if we can come in and say that she's a very wonderful healer.
Yeah, just go and roll me persuasion.
That's a nat 20, so 22.
Oh, gee,
Good
thanks.
God.
Because I got an 8.
You and your natural 20s.
I know.
Naturally.
Yeah, he goes, oh. He kind of shuffles to the door and opens like, whose voice was that?
Hi, I'm Tilda.
He kind of looks up. He's like, not what I'm expecting, but anyway, thank you for your, thank you for your, time, but oh, my heart just hurts so much. I just can't entertain guests right now.
But she can help your heart.
He just kind of lets out a long sigh, and he's like, he lets out a long sigh, and he just goes, very well, come in.
I'll gesture to her to, like, go through the door first. Ladies first?
You're lady too. That doesn't work. I'll go ahead and I'll walk in. Is it the room to the right?
It's this one. Sorry, I need to.
Okay.
Why do I feel like he looks like a vampire from a young adult novel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of looks a little bit like Edward.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that.
I
And now I hate him.
I know, and I was trying to find, fanfic of certain characters in here, and I'm like, really, this is the only decently drawn one. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some crap for this one. Oh well.
There's like some sort of effect that we can add to this map tools that will give him
Make him
sparkles.
sparkly.
Oh God.
And that exhausts everything I know about that series.
Lucy and
Something about a werewolf and somebody like wanting to have sex with a baby, right?
Right.
I will get irrationally angry.
all right, Lucy and Matilda, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
13.
Dirty 20!
Okay. Matilda, you don't catch it, but Lucy, you do. As he's closing the book, you can tell that it's some sort of thesis on magic that is kind of talking about details of some sort of teleportation, but you're only able to make out the words teleportation, magic, in a small circle, but you're not able to discern what book he's trying to close with some small amount of haste.
Hello, Victor. Again, my name's Lucy.
He nods his head and looks over at Matilda and kind of blushes and then kind of goes, "Yes, what can I help you ladies with?"
Actually, I think maybe it was more of what we could help you with. Your mother says that you've been down lately, not participating in the festivities or anything of the like.
He kind of he he kind of goes, "Oh, yes, my poor heart. Ever since, the lady at Lady Walkderhouse, broke off our engagement, I've been beside myself. I just can't bear to see and see the outside and run a chance to deal with her again. It was just too much."
Does it look like he actually believes what he's saying?
You can roll me an insight check. You too, Matilda.
That's a 10.
6.
As far as you can tell, you can't. It's believable enough that you can't see if it's a lie. You're kind of on the fence, like, it's believable, but he's not selling it if it's a lie.
So it looks like he's like.
Yeah, it looks like he's telling the truth, but man, you really do want to see if he is lying about something.
Was it that bad of a breakup? decided to do a bit of light reading instead.
Oh yes, I, I had plans. We were going to, you know, go out and parade in the town and have all this, grand things that, she was talking about, and I, I really feel that it was going to be the highlight of the town for the next year, but alas, myself and this poor town are going to have to deal with this, hardship going forward.
I see. Do you have anything else that ails you? No tummy aches, no random pains in your chest?
Aside from this broken heart, no. Oh no. I'm fine
Well,
otherwise, thank you.
broken hearts can be very serious, and usually only mended if you tell people the truth and if you try to work through it instead of hiding.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
6!
Quick, Tilda, smile and flirt with him.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna try.
um, you know,
Uh,
tell me how you're going to do this. Tell.
I would just like look at him and say, one time I had my heart broken, and I decided to just hold all of my feelings in, and it backfired way more than I could have ever expected.
You know what? I'll let you roll with advantage on that one.
22.
Good.
God damn. He,
I'm a charmer.
I guess. Wow. He kind of lets it alongside. He's like, all right, I'm gonna let you in on something. I really don't care about the engagement. I'm I'm actually just trying to get out of town without my parents noticing, and the only way that they leave me alone is if I put up this act.
Why are you trying to get out of town?
Have you seen my parents?
That's fair.
Haughty, a little annoying, very overbearing.
Right? My dad keeps talking about this foolhardy attempt to, you know, keep saying that all will be well, and my mom having to go along with it for appearances. You know, my dad has lately just been constantly just, ugh, constantly glares at me because I don't want to be like him and promoting the rhetoric, and you know, my mom ugh, keeps smothering me. I just can't take it anymore, guys. I really need to just go. Look, I don't know. I know you're trying to help, but I, I just can't be here anymore. The whole wedding thing, I'm glad that lady did, because if she had married me, I'd be stuck to this dying town, and that's the last thing I want.
Well, how's this? We won't tell your parents that you're trying to flit away, but you tell us everything you know about the lady and her daughter. I mean, there was a pending engagement, you have to know something.
He lifts his eyebrow and he looks at Matilda and is like, oh, okay. What do you want to know?
Tell us everything you know.
Well, let's see. I once went to her house and, you know, her maids seemed like they were pretty nice people, and her daughter seemed like pretty okay gal, but I I really don't know. I didn't really spend much time. It was kind of one of those things that we met to meet, so we weren't strangers on the wedding day, and we exchanged a couple pleasantries, but I really didn't get to know the gal too well. Kind of gave her, oh, maybe that's part of why I kind of acted like a bit of a lack for a better sense an ass in front of her and kind of kind of gave her the cold shoulder a bit, and I think that was enough just to kind of go and get her to not want to be a part of it. But to be honest, I really wasn't there for too long. I did notice that the house had a bit of an eerie feel to it.
What do you mean by eerie? Like something's watching you from behind the corner, or something's just very not right?
Well, I mean, someone's always there. I mean, there's this guy named Ernest that keeps an eye out for her, but outside of that, I mean, it just felt like the house was just cold, like even if the fire was going, the house itself seemed like it was a cold place. Kind of gave me the chills too just by being in there, and I've only been there a few times.
Would you happen to know about the ladies' book club? Did they happen to mention anything about that?
He kind of thinks back for a second, and he kind of goes, "Oh, yeah, there was this thing about a book, and if I remember correctly, it had a raven on the cover, but I didn't get a good look at the title. It was kind of covered up by her arm, but I do remember something about a raven on the cover of the book. It was also bound in some sort of red leather with a black raven on top or crow. Can't wasn't too sure it was a black bird though."
I see. Tilda, you know more about what we're looking for than I do. Do you have any other questions you can think of?
There was no one there that you recognized in the book club, though?
Well, mom and dad don't let me really socialize with a lot of folks outside of the gatherings, but when we're at the house, it was just us and her servants and us, just us, my parents, my parents and I, and their servant Ezek, and then Ernest was there and her servants. But aside from that, the house was pretty quiet. No one else there.
I think maybe we should go find Vika and the others.
I think it might be about time. Victor, thank you for your compliance. And as far as your parents will know, you just need time.
He grins. He's like, "Thank you," and he points to Matilda. It's like, "Lady, may I have your name?"
Tilda!
Ah, Tilda. Yes. And he gets back to his chair, and Mira kind of you hear Mira's footsteps coming down the door. Sorry, down the hallway a little bit as she approaches the door. He kind of goes, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, my heart, my poor heart." No good. Mira says that.
I don't think we had any luck. And then I'll turn around and wink at him as I walk through the door.
Sometimes things like these just need time.
Or a
Reading,
stake through the heart.
studying. Or to have his head ripped off. Reading, studying, just he'll find another
Please.
interest eventually.
He kind of, as Lucy, you can kind of tell as he said that, he kind of gives a bit of a sly grin and, you know, continues to reopen up the book that he was looking at. All right. Outside of that, do you guys want to say farewell, or is there anything else that you guys want to discuss inside the house?
I don't think so.
I am all done.
Okay. Well, the Baron and the Baroness pretty much have rounds up all the company people inside the households and has you guys assemble out towards the front of the house. The Baron and the Baroness so that they have to do their civic duty. The Baron has. Oops. Let me go ahead and get this all lined up a little better. Oops, not that. Yeah, if you guys want to pull yourself apart a bit. All right. So the Baron tells the lads the rest of his hunting story. It's even listen to him. It just sounds nothing but ego and it sounds nothing but ego and him inflating some of the details to kind of fit his personality. And him and his wife kind of hear a bit of a toll on a clock somewhere. It's like, oh, bother! I have to get to my magistrate duties. We've got to go ahead and try some folks who were trying to interrupt official business with the festival. I do apologize. I wish we had more time, but duty calls. And the Baronet's like, yes, and thank you, ladies, for coming. I always appreciate your your time and efforts to spend with me. You're gracious friends. And they both say in unison, all will be well, as they turn around and both enter the house and the door closes.
All will be well.
Creepy.
If they're not careful, that's going to be on their tombstone. Not that I'm like threatening or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can see that the ladies below you are all kind of their shoulders start to relax and they go let out a sigh of relief, and for once you actually could tell that there's a genuine expression of happiness as they start walking out, and they you can tell that a weight's been lifted. Uh, Karina looks back at Vika and gives her a polite nod and then proceeds with the rest of the group.
That was kind of creepy as shit, wasn't it?
They are
Just a bit.
not well liked. The feeling I got from the women working there, they're there because
In the workplace.
they're working there in the workplace because it is the only way they can get food for themselves and their children. Not because they hold them in high regard or respect or because they enjoy their company. In fact, they seem to rather lose it.
So much for their magnanimity, I suppose.
Even the son's trying to run away. I say as
Oh,
I
really?
continue walking towards the tavern and not outside their house.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Standing out here like, man, these fuckers suck.
Man, you people suck.
All right, is that where your next destination is? Back to the tavern?
I thought we would go and pay a visit to the Lady Voctor. No?
Yes, that's probably a better idea.
Okay, so you guys are gonna head to the Walker house. Okay.
Yeah, no, the whole rivalry about the son and the daughter breaking up is because he was an ass, because he didn't want to marry her, because he's trying to run away. Also, he thinks that the house is very cold, even when sitting by a fire. And it's weird and creepy. And
At the
there's
Walker
some
house?
guy, yeah, and there's some guy named Edgar who keeps an eye on things.
Named what?
Edgar.
Edgar?
Sorry, Ernest.
Ernest.
Sorry, Ernest.
Oh, I'd written down Ernest, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, that's a real different name. I must have
It's like-
fucked up somewhere.
In an Edgar suit.
Okay. Let me go.
Alright, so what we have is man named Ernest, cold house is creepy. That is it.
Oh, and the book club thing.
What about it?
Oh, right, Red Book, Black Raven. He couldn't read the label, but it is a red leather-bound book with a black raven on it.
Ravens again. They keep appearing. There was the house where we met Etrix. There was the vineyard. Ravens seem to be a thing. Parrot sort of fits right in here. Parrot, didn't we get something? Uh, something with a raven.
I'm gonna pull out the book and look at it because I don't remember what it looks like.
Yeah, let me double check too, because Camel Keep Deep, I need to make sure that's the same one. If not, then we'll have to change that. I was just thought, I'm like, what was that book?
I don't remember it being red, but I remember it being a book of ravens.
Yeah. Book of the Raven. Yeah, the one that you have is black on the outside, so it's a different book.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It has been a long time, so I did not remember. I just remembered that we got something with a raven on it.
Yes, that's not that. Okay.
Also, Tilda, I think he might like you.
My type.
You just
The
said
sparkly
my type.
kind.
Yeah.
She said not really my type. If you didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I just heard
okay.
my
No, I
Yeah,
said
I
not
heard my
really.
type.
No, not really my type.
What, small, squishy little man-child is not your type?
I know that's a surprise.
I assume you're more interested in a very small feathery type, yes?
That's one way to put it.
My eyes get wide.
Okay, so everyone load up the map.
Still loading.
It's still loading for me. It's taking a while. It's weird.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, for some reason I'm getting some frame rate, well, not frame rate, but some network connectivity issues, which I'm trying to see what the heck's the deal here.
Yeah, the last one loaded just fine. This one's taking a long ass time.
Yeah, mine's still loading too. The last one loaded pretty quick, but
Okay, so weird. Okay, I will at least give you guys the lowdown on this house. All right, as you guys approach the okay, come on. As you guys approach the house itself seems disgusted with just existing. A slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge underneath the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice occasionally groan. Only then do you realize to the extent to which the house hates what it has become.
I mean, do we need to like insight check the house? Is it a living thing now, or is it just like?
No, you don't need to do that. It's just, man, it's the glory days of this house are far beyond it.
Just, I am mostly just joking because it is describing the house as though it is a person.
I was about to
Right.
say, is this like a monster house situation?
I mean, they were in a monster house once.
Where like the house is literally going to try and eat us.
Is it still giving you guys a loading
Still
screen?
doing the loading thing, yeah.
Yep.
still loading.
Yep.
Yeah.
The flip. Hmm. Let me do this real quick. Task manager, performance.
So we have no real evidence that this woman is bad in any way.
Not really. No evidence. No.
I mean, even just saying that she is supportive of Strahd does not necessarily make her bad. After all, the Vistani are as well, and we have received helpful advice and clues from them, and hospitality.
That is true.
This is a strange place where your enemies are your allies, and your allies are probably more dangerous than your enemy.
It is very strange. And in all honesty, if you have someone as powerful as you're saying Strahd is, his allies might be a little nicer to him and just let him do what he wants.
To
I
be
could be
honest,
it.
this sort of subterfuge is not my specialty. I am, uh, typically am much more direct. I am finding myself missing Dr. Etrix and Silas even more. They were better at these sorts of things. Especially the good doctor.
We still loading?
Still
Oh,
loading for
there.
me.
I
Yeah,
tabbed
mine's
out for a
still
second
loading.
and it's back.
I'm looting.
I'm gonna try tapping out and see.
Victor House.
Doctor House.
I'll go to the twerking chicken.
Here at the Wachter House, you can get all your needs satisfied. Creepy house? Check. Crazy old lady? Check. Fast service? Check.
I would think that fast service it would not be, considering how long it took to load.
Boom, got
Oof.
Sick burn, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why my internet's tripping out. I've got 1 gigabit internet. Come on, man. I should have.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Is that everyone?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Apparently, I'm the odd man out tonight. Still nothing. Oh, there we go. We're good.
Okay. Alrighty.
It's not even Ernest, it's Ernst.
Ernst. Is it Ernst? Okay, so it's Ernst.
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 Did you think it was Edgar because of Aristocats?
No, but I wish. I'm just really bad with names.
Oh, okay.
Me too, that's why everything gets written down.
Creme de la creme Edgar.
Alright, so everyone good now, or are we still.
I think everyone said they loaded.
I think we're good.
Okay, so yeah, you just kind of see in front of you, you see the house. You hear as the wind kind of goes through, you hear the creaking and moaning of the house as it kind of dealing with that gust of wind. And as soon as the wind passes by, the groaning stops.
Alright, so have we thought about what it is we're going to say when we go up and knock on the door?
Not really.
Tilda, you seem to be having good luck with charming folks these days. Perhaps you should go first.
Hold on. Do you want me to have a look around? Maybe I can scout to see some of the back doors or anything.
Yeah, wasn't that the plan? We were gonna kind of like see if we could find a way in.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Pretend I'm not
Before you-
here.
So
Before you
we're-
disappear, I'm going to shoop into my bottle. Basically, it's a ring, and hand it to you. Well, hand it to you, and then shoop into it. So I'm with you just in case. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
they can't hear me from the outside, so you're fine.
But you can hear on the inside.
Yeah, I can hear what's
Okay.
going on the inside.
you handed me your ring.
My genie bottle, essentially.
It's a ring.
Yes.
Okay. Do we know this?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Okay.
gave it to Vika before.
Well, I
This
can't remember
is
if it's
yeah. I
ever
was gonna
come
say
up
this
before.
is not. Is this the trinket you've given me?
No. The talisman
Okay.
No.
and the ring are different.
This is literally his genie bottle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a ring.
I give him
Okay.
my genie bottle. You have my talisman.
All right. Well, me and Parrot. So Parrot is with me.
Is Kvin? Are you going with them as well?
No, I thought that I would probably try and scope things out from the front while they do the subterfuge. Unless you want to handle the talking piece.
Well, this is how it went with the last house.
All right. I'll let you ladies handle it, and I'll.
And if something happens, I can just think very hard in your general direction.
All right. Yeah, so we can stay in contact with you, and we can also kind of observe what's going on around the outside.
All right. I rolled a 19 stealth,
Okay.
so I just start going into bushes and taking a look around. You know, let me
Yeah.
know if you need like an investigation or anything.
Uh, yeah. Go ahead and roll me an investigation while you're snooping
I rolled a
around.
22 on stealth,
Okay. That works too.
and I will also investigate the 19.
Ooh, I rolled a 14.
With the 14, you were able to make out that the vines are pretty thick on especially on the sides of the house that get at least a little bit of that sunlight that's on there, and they're look like they're sturdy enough to get you to kind of hold not only uh, Lyndon's weight but also Quinn's weight. Quinn, you managed to see kind of a boarded up window on the east side of the building on the second floor. It's very hard to make out, and you barely see it through all the vines, but you're able to make out a little bit of mirror, not mirror, but a little bit of glass with some wood behind it.
Okay.
But outside of that, nah, it's just, you're a little freaked out at the fact that this thing groans every time that there's a strong breeze that passes through, and that at any moment it feels like this house could fall apart, and not in a fun, way. It seemed like it could crush the people on the inside if it happens to catch too strong of a gust.
What do these two back doors look like?
The two back doors look like there's a lot of use on them. You could tell that there's a lot of foot traffic that goes through them. I'm assuming you're talking about this one right here, and then this one. Yeah. Let me double check with that. The one on this end with here has a lock on it, and it doesn't look like that has had any recent traffic on it. The one on the back, though, it looks like it doesn't have a lock on it, and there's been a lot of fresh foot traffic through this part at least.
Okay, and then there's a window on the second, like.
Yeah, this over here, this section, there's a bit of a window behind a large amount of vine, with a board sticking behind it.
What's going on with the garden over here?
On this side,
I
nothing much. Attempts of growing different types of flowers, some vegetables, but it looks like that they aren't faring too well.
Should we go into the basement, Quinn?
I'm not sure how much really exploring we should do on our own. Like, I don't want to get
I know.
down into, the area where the vampires are being held and it just being me and you.
Well, I have Parrot as well.
True.
You're not wrong. All right. Well, we're doing that, so obviously that's going to take us a little time. Are they going to? Are you? I take it the rest of the party's engaging in the front with the talking.
It would seem probable. Alright, ladies. I suppose we're back to being the talking ones. Us and
This will
our
be fun.
misfit everything. The normal ones are off being all sneaky.
How do we want to approach this?
Not that you're not normal, Lucy. You're most normal
You're
among
the
us.
most normal.
They said to the creepy looking one with the wound that won't heal.
The
With the wound that's
tall,
barely healed.
yes, the creepy looking one is the most normal one compared to the bipedal cow and the 8-foot
Gigantic
tall
woman.
gray skinned giganto woman. Let's be frank, the most normal one here is either the one that shoots tentacles from his head, or the one who turns into a gangly, monstrous, ghoulish looking man.
Which, for the record, I have not yet done today. I have my mutagen made, but I have not imbibed.
Okay. Alright, so what is our action plan here? Are we just going up and knocking on the door and hoping for the best? Are we asking for something in particular?
Traveling healer and her 2 bodyguards? I have no idea. You have the extent of my knowledge of what's going on.
All I know is that they have something that we need, and we need to get it. And I know that they do not like the Burger Master, and that about covers my knowledge of this.
Did the little bird man keep the book? We could be traveling book saleswomen.
He does have the book, but they are elsewhere. The girl, what happened to her? You spoke to the boy.
He just said he was an ass.
He didn't mention her.
Yeah, he just said he was an ass, so she wouldn't like him.
We could try to say that we do not agree with the Burger Master's frivolous use of festivals. She does not seem to like him, and we could try to convince her that we are looking to assist her.
Or that we have a petition that we're signing. End the festivals. Petition to end the festivals.
A petition to end the festivals, or perhaps to no longer hang decapitated heads on the walls of the city.
Or that, yes.
I think most people would agree with that.
Is unsanitary and attracts pests.
Yes, and ruins your water supply. No, just no.
It kind of puts a damper on things.
A little bit. It's a little morbid.
Alright, so these are our excuses. Which are we going with, and where are we committing? Pest-filled decapitated heads, or too many festivals?
As much as I think that the heads would be compelling, I don't think she really seems like a festival lady.
Or do we just say fuck it all and barge through this front door?
No besting. No besting, please.
I've used all of my nice words up today. I need to smash something.
No, smashing won't get us very far, and...
Quiet! You're wasting valuable smashing time.
what happens when all the reasonable ones go off elsewhere.
I say we just. It's a 2 horses that we can die on, and we could say both and see which one leads to where it needs to go.
I mean, either that or stick with the traveling healer thing and we are bodyguards, but there is probability that she is already familiar with our presence here.
Then she'll bring us into her house to kill us, and then you can smash things.
I like that plan.
Alright, so Lucy, you do the talking, we will back you up however you
Oh,
direct things, yes?
oh,
Yes.
oh Lord.
Like I said, you are the most normal one here. We are I have found that many people in this place find myself and Tilda to be unapproachable.
I don't know why.
They're intimidated by our
Beauty.
yes.
I'm just going to look up at you with my weirdly haunting, creepy eyes.
You would be surprised that people find our stature to be intimidating.
That's very
And
sad.
and Vika like looks down at Lucy. Armor creaking. The halberd still strapped to her back. So, as you, however you wish to play this, we will back you up.
Alright, I will take a deep breath, pull up my pants a little bit, and go knock on the door.
Oh, I'm so glad I get to force other people to do talking. Vika comes over and looms behind one shoulder.
Oh yeah,
Step
I'm
or
like
two behind.
flanked.
So Lucy flanked by 2 gigantic women, heavily armed gigantic women.
Totally normal. I would let them
This
in
is-
my house.
This is not intimidating at all.
Oh
A
God.
corpse and
Have you
2
heard
giant
about-
women walk into a room.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Lord Cthulhu?
Oh man. All right. So what's the plan? You knocking?
Mm-hmm.
I'm knocking.
All right. You know, as soon as you knock on the door, you hear something slide open and see a man kind of look through. It's like, yes.
Greetings. May Paylor bless you this day. My name is Miss Hollowsword. I am on a pilgrimage to help those within this town. I was wondering if there was anything that you or your mistress or the lord of the house would need help with, whether it be healing, handiwork.
Kind of looks at you. It's like, um, what are you? What, huh? Sorry. You're saying that you're here to heal?
Yes, I'm on a pilgrimage for my church.
He kind of goes. He's like, uh, hold on, and you hear him slide the thing. You hear.
Hello, my name is Elder Price.
And I would like to share with you the most amazing book.
Oh God.
Oh man. A few minutes later, you see the door open, and he's like, you see a different man there, and he's like, ah, well, hello there. I've been waiting for you. Wait, there's supposed to be 6. Where are the other 3?
I'm sorry? I have no idea what you may be talking about.
All of a sudden, Lyndon and Quinn hear in their heads, "Oh shit! I think they're on to us."
What took them so long?
Pretend you're coming from down the road in the other direction.
You couldn't think. Oh, ugh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will loop around the house and try to.
Yeah.
All right. How do you buy them like the 20 seconds they need to sprint around the house?
Why can't you get longer legs?
I'm so sorry. My name's Lucy. Hello, Sword. I am on a pilgrimage for my church that I'm looking to heal the land around me. Is there anything that we can help you with today?
I am going to try my hardest just to like keep the lie going.
Go ahead and roll me a deception roll.
That's a -1. I got a 10.
Yeah, he's like, had you led with, I'm here to heal the daughter, I would have believed you a little bit more, but I know who you are.
I had no idea she was ailed. I can still help.
He just kind of gets wide and he's like, indeed, we've been waiting for your arrival. Where's the rest of your team? We're eager to meet them.
Do you pop out of the ring, Perry?
We had just gotten a little lost along the way, and give me 1 second.
We had left before them.
Oh, no, you don't have to lie. We were just looking at your pretty garden. That's all.
No, we're fine. I'm fine. Visibly winded, out of breath, like sweating profusely.
He's like, oh dear, this won't do it all. Fetch me a towel.
No. I appreciate the hospitality, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
No, the lady cannot stand the sight of a man in your physical condition sweating all over the house. You see the gentleman bring over, a clean linen towel and just, it's like, give me that, you fool. And he tosses it over to Quinn. He's like, dry yourself off. Make yourself presentable for the Lady Wakta.
I'm gonna peek around loose and just kind of try to bat my eyelashes at him and see if it works.
We've given her too much power.
Matilda the Heartbreaker.
I'll let you roll
There's
up.
a bard next time. It'll be fun.
Go ahead and roll me a performance on that. Let's see.
Performance?
Yeah, we'll roll performance.
Oh, fuck. 9.
He kind of goes, perhaps in a different age of my life, perhaps, but not today. I'm here on business.
Things have gotten much more uncomfortable. That was almost as uncomfortable as Ron trying to flirt with a bear man.
Yikes.
Okay. Well, that was the whole thing.
He lets out another sheepish grin. He's like, well, now that you're presentable and your breath caught up, please follow me. The lady's been expecting you for some time. Alright, you guys just follow him in, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we should have just come here.
You're probably right. I don't feel like we really got anything from.
Other than the fact that people apparently not so fond of their family.
Did you meet them? They were pretty shitty anyway.
Alright. He leads you to an open area, and you see let me make sure that you guys can actually see her. There you go. Oh, okay. Is there any cool description about her?
Description? I mean, she looks like she's waiting to devour our souls, and so does her pet. Those pictures are give everything away.
All right. There are three elegant couches surrounded by an oval table made of black glass, all set in front of a blazing hearth, which above hangs a portrait of a smirking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangled hair graying at the temples. Several smaller portraits hang on the north wall. You can tell that the other portraits include her and some younger people who resemble both her and the gentleman on the above the hearth as well. My lady, this is the party I told you about, though the ones who brought in the wine and people of some note. They apparently arrived with a couple of people outside the town a few days back as well. They've drawn some interesting attention at the inn last night. Apparently, something about a turkey. I figured that you may want to talk to them and see if there's anything that you wish to gain. I know you love stories of the outside world, but this is the best I can do at short notice, is these folks. Excuse me. And he kind of just walks himself out.
Please don't ask about the turkey. It gives me nightmares.
I psionically whisper, "Who was that prick? He seems to know too much about us."
I respond back, I told you, they've probably been aware of us for a while.
She, yeah, Fiona kind of beckons you to take a seat, and it's like, please, make yourselves comfortable and enjoy the hospitality of House Wachter. Would you care for something to drink? She looks over at Quinn. You look like you're parched.
Sorry, I had a bit of a run.
Vika sits down on the couch. It groans audibly from the size and weight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go along with that. Uh,
A drink would be most appreciated.
I appreciate your hospitality in the offer.
yeah, the two servants kind of grab grab trays and start setting glasses in front of anyone who's uh, asked for one. There's water, some wine, tea, depending on what you want. They've got a couple of cups of each in each of the trays. Lady Fiona herself takes a cup of tea and sips it. So Ernst tells me that you're not from around here. Some newcomers into wonderful land of Barovia.
Wonderful is exactly the word I would use for it.
She gives a quiet smirk to that. I heard you brought back some wine. That stuff's been slightly difficult to get in the last month.
There was some issue with the supplier and a couple of disgruntled druids.
I see. Well,
Couple, yeah.
and
Couple dozen, maybe.
well, I was going to summon you to request an audience to see what brings you to Valaki, but would fate have it, you came to me. So why have you come seeking me?
Well, we are new to this place, and we have heard of your of the prestige and respect that you command among the people. And considering some of the less than appreciative uh, appearances of the people towards the local magistrate, we thought that perhaps speaking with someone of your standing and respect would be beneficial.
She She kind of gives you a once over, and she's like, "Pa, be forward. You came here specifically for something. No one seeks me out for my prestige."
Then that is their loss. One must always know where one is where's the best place to make friends is, yes?
Quite. Are you being earnest with her? Are you trying to persuade her to come around, or I'm trying to figure
A,
out.
a little bit of both. Like, Vika's opinion of the Burgermeister is pretty low.
Sure, sure, okay. Yeah, I was trying to see if you
Like,
were trying to deceive her or if you were trying to be earnest with her.
from the very get-go, I mean, I've been saying like quite a lot that the like excessive festivals are not great.
Okay, okay, I was just trying to get a feel. I'm like, what are you trying to do with? Okay, but that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no.
She lets out a long sigh. It's like, yes, all they're doing is just building up to a heated confrontation with Lord Strahd. I wish that they would understand that he is just not a man to be trifled with. He may be a negligent landlord, but he is still a very powerful man.
What is your opinion of Mr. von Zarovich?
He does a terrible job overseeing his realm, but I don't see a reason to get rid of him.
Well, by terrible job, you mean kidnapping and keeping everybody, like, living in fear.
Well, yes, but he doesn't do anything to deal with the resistances or dealing with people who oppose him. He's too invested in his games and his boredom. He doesn't do a good job on maintaining his own lands. It's quite a shame. This place could actually be so much more if he actually invested some time in it than his games.
Such as what? What do you think he could be doing better to make the land into a better place?
Well, for one thing, we could actually do better with our commerce. As you can probably tell, our supplies come and go, and anything of value usually is brought in by foolish adventurers who think that they can destroy this man.
In complete fairness, he is the one bringing such adventurers to this place.
She sips her
This
tea.
is this is part of his intention.
Quite, and my issue with him is that instead of spending his time luring in would-be adventurers, he could be luring in academics, he could be luring in entrepreneurs, people that could actually bring some real, how can I put it, some real quality back to this place.
There was a scholar among us, but Strahd took him,
Good, maybe he
claimed
can.
him before the rest.
Maybe he's starting to listen to your wonderful ideas.
One can only hope.
But it is true that we came here for something.
She puts her teacup on the black table. Well, what is it that you seek?
We have been led here by some other residents of this land,
Destiny.
and a thread of destiny, as told by these people. A suggestion that we should come and speak with you, that you may have something in your possession that will, mm, that is part of this play of von Zorovich's.
That we may be able to help you assist him in seeing the opportunities that he has in order to do a better job of managing his land.
She lets out a very wry smile that chills all of you to the bone, and you're not entirely sure if you like the fact that she's smiling. It's as if you see some sort of predator hunting down her prey. But she goes, I think I know what you're looking for, and as long as you help me with my goals, I wouldn't mind parting with what you seek.
All right. Well, that sounds promising. What kind of goals do you need assistance with?
You will help me overthrow the Baron and the Baroness and turn Valaki's leadership over to me. And with that, we'll close for the night, because it's already past 10, so. Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun.
Meanwhile, in the head of Lyndon, he knows in this closet that there is a broom.
And he is afraid.
All
Fear
rolls
has
for Lyndon are
overcome his
disadvantage while the object of his terror is in line of sight. Is there a proper term for a phobia of brooms?
I'm sure there is.
And now I'm googling it.
Yeah. The hell? Scopophobia? Scopophobia? S-K-O-U.
Scopophobia.
Good lord.
The fear of brooms, like they watched
Yes.
Fantasia too much when they were children.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Like there's like a psychological like disposition to this
Apparently.
because of Fantasia
Yes.
or fucking Les Miserables.
Oh god. So yeah, that's where we'll end up. Is that she's gonna propose you to have ask for your help to overthrow the town next week. So we'll pick up from there. Everyone good for next week?
Should be.
Yep.
Yeah, as of right now.
Okay, so we'll be back on December 7th. Wow, it's already December when we get back. Wow. So yeah, back at here same time next week, around 7:15ish p.m. Mountain Standard Time now. We're at daylight's time. Jeez. So thanks my players for spending time. Thanks for my viewers for watching, and we'll see you all next week.